Welcome to Inside the Firm, a podcast dedicated to small business owners and hosted by entrepreneurs, Alex Gore and Lance Cayko. Each week, they take you on their journey of how to start, run, and grow a business by bringing you inside their architecture and real estate development firm. Get a behind-the-scenes tour of how these business leaders manage their clients and foster company culture while creating new and innovative projects. And now your hosts, Alex Gore and Lance Cayko.
Hello, my name is Sam Davis. I would like to have a design for a 6-bedroom bungalow, all suite with 2 living rooms, foil, master suite, playroom, kitchen, kitchenette, laundry room, and double garage, and would like to have access from the living room, from the garage, and also have a link with the master bedroom. If there's anything that can suit my taste, which I am yet to include, missing an E by the way, please advise. I hope you do accept credit cards as a means of payment for the drawing and planning designs. And I would appreciate it if you can get back to me with a full estimate of yours, Mr. Sam Davis.
So, do you want me to respond?
Hold on. You're driving.
I'm driving.
You're at a stoplight.
Yep.
You get that text message.
Ooh. Here's a question. Did you mean to read foyer? Or was it spelled foil? Foil. Gotcha. Okay.
Welcome to Inside the Firm.
Welcome to Inside the Firm.
Happy Friday.
So you got me. I really want to respond like, hey, great to meet you. Glad you text me. Do you have a site? If you have a site,
okay, let me go.
Could I meet you at your site, or would you like to come into our office? I don't know, normal stuff like that.
That's what you would say.
Yeah. First, you got a scratch on your neck. You've been fighting with your kids.
My wife found it too. I think I honestly, she was like, "What happened to you?" And I was like, "I don't know. I guess I have a scratch."
Yeah. My wife does that every couple months. She'll like look at my. She's like, "What is this?" And There'll be some scratch. I'm like, "I have no idea."
Bruising too.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll get like, because I bruise like a peach because I'm just a wuss.
I don't know. I run into things apparently.
Yeah, apparently our wives know more about our bodies than we do.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, okay.
Do you want to tell people what this is?
Let's go a little bit further, okay?
Okay.
So, I responded, "Hi, Sam. How did you find our firm?" And then here's where it started to get legitimate. Thumbtack.
Ooh, we get a lot from Thumbtack.
Sorry, I'm texting you. I'm hearing impaired and I've been advised to stay off phone calls for 2 weeks. Can I text the info on here? I said, sure. We can text. Do you have a parcel of land purchase? Here's where it got even more real. And this is why I think it's important to
tell people, inform people.
This is like a plus. This is the negative side of internet marketing. Okay.
Yeah.
As an architect or as anybody, it doesn't matter if you're a small business owner. Hi, my home address is blah 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 blah. It's in Massachusetts, and I own a lot to build. Here's the address. In Colorado Springs, how many square feet, he lists how many square feet of the lot. I mean, it's just like all of these details. I want it to be a single story. I budgeted $500,000. I wish to start on X amount a day. And then he repeats everything about what he wants in the house, even more detail.
So this is stuff, it's looking legit.
Absolutely legit. Absolutely legit. So then he goes on a little bit further, talks about, he needs some advice again and all this other stuff. Sounds legit. Are there some spelling errors? Sure, but honestly, you've seen how I text. I text so fast.
Yep.
That I almost always have spelling errors.
And I do just by default. But then also, I don't know. I was gonna say, if you're deaf, does that somehow contribute to spelling errors? Probably not. But maybe.
Well, let's just try to like have some empathy, for this possible person. That's
where I was going. Like, benefit of the doubt.
Maybe they got into a car accident and they're kind of just not all there. It's just poor person. Got to help them. I don't know. So I go.
Just got all their money in Bitcoin and ready to spend it. It's gone.
We're not talking about Bitcoin today. Yeah. So then I said, Sam, all sounds good. I would be happy to put together a proposal for you tomorrow. What is your email address? And he goes, okay, good. Gives me his email address. And again, this is me going, okay, just trying to believe that this is real.
You found the site. online.
This is
on the line.
Yep, yeah. So I said, then I clarified the email address, whatever. So then that kind of ended that. So then I said, then the next day, I didn't have time to put together a proposal that day. So I go, okay, I'm going to vet this a little bit, see if this is real. Looked up Sam Davis, looked up the original address that he gave me where he says he's living, all checked out. This guy is Mr. Sam Davis, is 72 years old. So he gave me an address. He's like, hey, this is where I'm living right now in Massachusetts.
Yep.
And the name, I looked up the record and everything. I was like, holy cow.
Yeah,
okay.
GIS. You can look up owner information, right?
Well, just MLS, just a public MLS.
There you go.
Plus, my wife is a realtor. She comes into play in this story a little bit later, honestly. And then I looked up the address in Colorado Springs. Sure enough, it's a blank lot. It's got the exact square footage that he said, blank, like a bare lot, empty lot. It all checks out.
I'm convinced this is a real person.
Dude, I was so convinced that then I said, all right, those two checked out. I'm going to spend 15 minutes putting together a proposal, which that's all it takes me because I spent so much time up front, as everybody knows who's listened to the first couple episodes of this season. So then I emailed him and said, hey, good morning, Sam. I just emailed you a proposal. Takes his time, maybe a half hour later. Thank you for your reply. I got your proposal. I would really want you to see this job for me. I would like to proceed with this job as soon as possible. I have stated I am presently out of state on a business trip. He said he was in Brazil. Here's where it starts to get tricky, okay?
Yeah.
To have a meeting with you is not a problem, but I will be needing a little favor from you because I am having a little issue with the surveyor, as I have only paid him 85% before I left the state. So at this point, I will send you my credit card details for you to charge through the sum of $3,000 as part payment deposit in order for you to have the survey of the property and start working on the project prior to my return. And then he keeps going on about like this assistance, and then he's like, I will need you to charge an additional $6,150 from my card, whatever, and then like 5% credit on top of that, and like $100 for my stress. I hope you understand. And I go, I don't understand. Our contract states a deposit for X. Can you text me the name and number of your surveyor? I would love to have a phone call with them. Okay, let me ask him if it's good to give out his number. And I go, this is me actually saying this. Seems suspicious. If he's a real businessman, there shouldn't be a problem. This seems a little scammy. Him, what do you mean by this? I'm making a deposit so you can have me fully listed on your business schedule. Doesn't that sound silly?
But
fully listed on your business
time
schedule.
out. I want to give the benefit of the doubt here. Because what if this person is just mentally not...
That's what I'm saying.
There. But I think you went... Well, at first I was going to give him the, not say scammy. But how does he expect you to get the money to this guy if you can't contact the guy? Is that where you're... You know what I mean? Like, so I'm going to take out this money, and then who am I going to give it to if I can't give him a phone call at least and say, meet me at my office or whatever?
What do you mean by this? I'm making a deposit so you can have me fully listed in your business schedule. So when I'm back, I can meet with you and discuss. There's no problem. Me? Okay then, please message me the name. I'm still honestly giving this guy the credit, okay?
Let's call the surveyor.
Okay. Then please message me the name and number of your surveyor. Shouldn't be a problem to pass this information on if he's running a reputable business. So the reason why I said that is because I was thinking, okay, maybe, yes, still benefit of the doubt. Maybe this person is just older, and maybe they want us to have more of a management role in the whole project.
Sure.
I would love. Crazy people have money. So I need to talk to the surveyor to understand. Is this person real? A. B. Okay, are they crazy? Like, what have they been like to work with?
Yeah.
And there's a bigger point I'm making with this whole thing. Okay. With this bit. Yeah. Him. Hello. You here? I just repeated myself. Please give the name and number of your surveyor. Let me know when. Contact him. Let me know. Me. I need his name and number from you in order to contact him. Please pass on that information so I can give him a call. Gives me a number. Then he says, ... Mr. Adams. And I go, what is the name of Mr. Adams Surveying Company in Colorado? Not in Colorado. Just call him. I told him already you want to call for confirmation. Then I go, oh, okay. what is the name of his company wherever he is located? Then he goes, you can call him and ask. I see no reason you're stressing about this.
He says that?
Yeah, we're almost done, okay?
Okay.
So then, and my wife comes into play here in a little bit. So then I said, I see no reason why you can't give me the name of the company. It's a simple request. We'd like to vet client surveyors. Please provide the name of his company. You said your name is Sam. And then, there's silence. So I call my wife and I go, hey, I just emailed you an address down in Colorado Springs. My wife is a realtor. Yeah. And I said, can you please look up who owns the property and the history of the transactions?
Yep.
Sure. So my wife looks it up. Emails me back in like 30 seconds because that's how awesome she is. Turns out the name of it is.
Well, do you want to give out the name?
No. That's a good point. Yeah. So it is a foreign sounding name that is like Asian related, right? I actually looked up the person who owns the property. They're like kind of a semi-famous author. Hilarious.
Oh, okay.
So then I go, your name is Sam Davis, correct? And he goes, yes. And I go, strange. That's not who is on the records as the owner of the property. And then I tried to contact one more time just to see if I could get a response. Good morning, Mr. Davis. Can I have the name of your surveyor's company?
Did you call? Did you call that?
No, I haven't called anybody.
Oh, I think you should.
Right now?
No, I don't know. We might cut it. It might not be. Yeah, do it. We'll do it maybe when we're driving to lunch or something. I don't know. I think you should call it and just see.
What do you think of that? Isn't that crazy? Like, holy cow, that's a lot. I'll give him some credit.
Either the guy, interaction is very weird for him. Just extremely weird. I don't know. Maybe he has Asperger's or something. I have no idea.
Exactly. And my wife goes, I read the whole thing to my wife too, and she goes, why are you wasting your time? I'm like, honey.
Time out, can I answer that? My name is Lance Cayko. I am married to you. You should know I waste a lot of my times going down rabbit holes. Have you seen me on Facebook? and just excuse me, do you know who I am? Do you even know who I am, honey?
That's exactly what I said. I go, honey, I'm trolling millions of people daily, and you don't expect me to troll one guy back if he's trolling me? Come on. Come on.
I hope next week. Turns out this is a legitimate guy. He just needed some help. We're here to help him out. Sorry for the confusion.
So my bigger point with this was just make sure, give people the benefit of the doubt, but you gotta check one thing. Just check somehow you also got to vet your clients. I think you have to look for warning signs. If they just seem a little bit off, if they're real clients, because you're getting into a little marriage. Like, I can't state that enough, right? And the three custom houses that I got at the end of last year, the last quarter, one of them we're done with.
Yep.
Another one we're almost done with, and the other one we're still in schematic design phases, and I completely regret where that's going.
Here's the other thing which people might not pick up on right away, or they might. Hey, what's the harm in taking a credit card number and trying to charge it? Well, guess what's going to happen? That's not going to work. And then all of a sudden they're going to say, hey, give me your bank account money. A bank account number.
Actually, do you know what I think? Do you know what I think it is? I think they're getting us to scam somebody else with a stolen credit card number. I think that's what they get. They get it to happen.
Oh, and then you send it to Adam in West Virginia.
Yep.
But you ran the illegal credit card number.
Yep. And so we still get money.
Yep.
But now all of a sudden we're accomplice to
and
the
then
scam.
All of a sudden Wells Fargo or Visa comes and says, hey, what is this about? And you're like, what? That could also be. It could also be. Another situation.
Just meet your clients, number one.
It's double scam at F9. Fake listing for fake site for an apartment. This has happened to two people that we know.
Two of our employees.
And
good Lord.
What happens
is insane. Every time I'm like, what? How is this happening again?
But what's crazy about it is that they're real locations that you can physically drive by. They won't let you see the interior because someone's in there. They'll take pictures from that listing that you can get on any places. We almost had this in New York happen too. But the thing is, they're getting sophisticated. The one we knew in New York is because it was too good of a deal. The ones that they're doing now in Longmont, Boulder, everywhere are essentially, hey, here's a 1-bedroom apartment for $825. It's in this great neighborhood. And you're like, oh, it should probably be like $900 or $1,000, but it's only 800. I'm really excited, but that's a realistic number. Like that 875 is, I could see how someone might do it for that.
Dude,
and they want to jump on it, and other people are interested. There's total scam.
Okay, so what it boils down to...
Send me your check. Don't trust me. It's
trust
in great
me. There's
hands.
always this trust me. I just can't... I mean, I can and I cannot believe, like... So the lengths that person went to...
I know.
To find 2 addresses, the first name checked out. I mean, you can see...
But they might be doing this to architecture firm after architecture firm at just going down the list. I wonder if any of our listeners have a similar thing with similar addresses, similar names.
If you do,
that would be efficient for him.
Go to InsideTheFirmPodcast.com.
Yep.
Click the little record button and tell us your story. We'd love to hear it.
Yeah.
We'll keep you anonymous if that's what it takes. I don't care. Because honestly, those kind of stories are like curveballs that keep me alive. I'm joking. They just like, how entertaining was I entertained myself for a good solid hour in the last 2 days about just like that.
Good.
I read it to you. I read it to all the guys.
Read it to the
Read
wife.
it to my wife. It's crazy. And I read it to everybody on here.
So just be aware. I guess that's the lesson.
It's just weird stuff that's going to happen in business.
Yeah.
I mean, really weird. That's like, what? What a weird thing.
Yep. So I have some new stuff that happened at the firm.
Okay.
I don't think have you done a post-tension slab?
Not in my life.
Okay. So me neither. And you'd say, you're probably like, how have you not done this, Al? You're so great at architecture.
Discipline equals freedom.
Yeah. Anyways, I just wanted to tell you some of the stuff I learned. I was going to ask you, what you know about it, but it doesn't matter because some people might not know anything, so might as well go through it, right? So you're familiar with your regular stem foundation wall and then your footer.
Yep.
Okay. With the post tension, you get rid of the footer, right? And then basically the whole thing is connected, the floor and then the foundation wall. Now, foundation wall now widens to about a foot rather than about 8 inches. But the problem I was having, and I didn't know how to do, is we're doing these townhomes and they're at different levels. They're 8 inches or a foot, not maybe a foot, 6 inches, 4 inches apart.
So the engineer did not succeed in talking them out of this?
No.
Okay.
And the builder doesn't want to do this either. The builder's like, this is
dumb. But you guys are doing it.
But we're doing it. So essentially we are trying to figure out, how do we run these post-tension...
If they step?
If they step.
In elevation.
Yep,
Yeah.
in elevation, right?
Yep.
How do we run these strands, these wires through?
Carefully.
And what happens, I don't know if you know this, but basically, let's say you have 5 units and they all step. You do it in 2 pours. So you break it up so you have 2 units that you'll pour and then 3 units that you'll pour.
Okay.
Right? Doesn't matter which side you pick, right? So let's say there's a left side, which is your end, and then a right side. So you're going to pour 3 of them. So now you have an open side on both, right?
Yeah.
So on the post tension, one is going to be securely anchored, the point in the center, right? And you can run these strands through and you can bend them down. And why that made sense once I saw it was, the concrete's going to cure and you're going to post tension it. So then
Then
side
you pull it, yeah.
on the outside,
Yeah.
you'll tighten it.
Then you pull it, yeah.
Yep. And then you'll lay the other side, the 2 units, or you could probably do 3. And then that side in the center is secure. You run your strands through, do the same thing. What's also weird too is, I can understand how maybe that doesn't cost too much more because you might already be putting rebar and all that stuff. Pouring twice probably costs more, but they have these ribs in them. So instead of spanning this whole distance, like this 20 feet or this 24 foot, every about 12 foot, you put another rib, another 1 foot rib. So the amount of concrete you're using in this is insane.
Are you sold on this crap?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Why are they doing it?
Geotech says that's why. So if you look at a floor plan, right? If we have a garage in back, it's about 24 foot. You got a 12 to 16 foot in the front. You'd run, you might have a foundation wall
is the
in
soil
between
that
the garage.
hot? Is that why?
Must be.
Huh.
Must be. So you have your foundation wall breaking it, right? But then you run a rib down the center, and then you run another rib in the garage.
This all seems
all a foot thick.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So you're excited about this?
I'm excited that I'm not drawing it. There's other people drawing it.
Interesting. Huh. Well, I wish you guys would have won that battle because that seems phony to me. I don't know. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. Whatever.
Yeah. Anyways, moving forward.
You know what? My wife went to Trader Joe's this week.
Good.
And it was awesome because they have good food. But what was really cool is she was like, I don't understand how they have, and I've never understood this either. How do they have such good produce, quality produce, it's organic, typically like all natural and stuff, for these insanely cheap prices? So she asks and why this relates, because I want to see if there's anything with that Trader Joe's does with their business model that we can bring into ours, okay?
Yes.
So I'm going to surprise you. I'm going to read you off 10 different things that they do.
Holy cow.
Via
notes.
Via CBS News, yeah.
Are these like the 10 things that now they can bring down their prices and
Yep.
All right.
Yep, exactly. So the article is titled 10 Secrets to Trader Joe's Success. It's an old article, but it doesn't matter because clearly it's all panned out.
Yep.
So you'll link to this, right?
Yep. What year? 14?
2010.
Oh, the Stone Ages.
Literally.
Yeah.
Barely had smartphones. Probably had like the iPhone 4 at that point. Not even. Just the iPhone. 2?
Can't imagine.
Okay. So, number 1, customers want fewer choices? Question mark.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah. Contrary to the long-standing grocery store dogma, TJ's stores are smaller and the choices are fewer, but consumers are happier. Get this. This is a statistic that'll blow you away. And this relates to Whole Foods, right? Because they're going to go head-to-head with Whole Foods now.
Yep.
Not that they haven't been. On average, Trader Joe's sells less than one-tenth the number of SKUs, product SKUs, but achieves twice the revenue per square foot versus Whole Foods.
Brilliant. Why I love this first point? I need to be interjecting now.
Yeah. No, I want you to.
Because their study, when the books I read, study after study, is that you do need to reduce choices, and that will make people choose faster, right? Why people, I think, are so scared of that is when I go from one grocery store, I get used to it, and I go to another, and they don't have what I want, then customers complain. Like, why don't you have this brand? Why don't you have this brand? But once you settle in a neighborhood like my neighborhood, I'm only going to go to the store that I can literally walk to. So I'll get used to those brands. I won't care, right? I'll be mad at the other stores when they don't have whatever is there. So brilliant and good for them for sticking to that. Good for them.
So I have a question for you about that number 1 point. You desperately want to redo the website.
Yes.
Don't you think the website already does that? It just reduces. It's so spare.
Yeah. I
would just rethink it. Just consider it.
This summer, I'll come up with a concept that I think will be very clean that I'll run by you. But it's not, yeah. I'm not itching. I got stuff to do.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Okay. Number 2, economies of scale. Low prices for high quality products. Amazingly, Trader Joe's offers high quality products at rock bottom prices. How does it do that? Scale. Since it carries fewer products, its volumes are higher, giving it bargaining power when negotiating with coveted suppliers. How smart is that? Like, these are like fundamental. It just makes total sense. Like, oh yeah, now we got more shelf room. So hey, grower who's growing beets, Al Gore. We, instead of like 10,000, we're going to order 100,000. What do you think? Then we can get a lower price. What do you think we can do that?
The other store, which also sells your beets, they're only ordering 1,000 because they have so many different products. Oh, Trader Joe's, I'll give them a discount because they're ordering 10 times more.
And this is one that I think we already do, is because we are volume based.
Yes.
And so we say we'll do we're obviously we scale our services with it too. So we don't do like, we're not picking out light fixtures.
Right.
We're not picking out the tile. That somebody else can do that. We are just giving you the architecture, the structure, the bones.
Yep.
And we are relying on, the client a little bit more to do their thing, but like that's our niche, and I think where we at least do that one right.
So unlike our best friend, Eric. Nick. What you're saying is by us, and he has such a successful firm, I don't even want to contrast us with him. Honestly, he has great stuff. By us not caring about like the trim so much, then we can.
It's a different, different
because that
thing.
takes up that would take up our time.
Exactly.
And all that other stuff.
Yep. So we do that. That's one thing I think we do that's comparable to them.
Yeah.
You know. So number 3, the death of branding. Not at Trader Joe's. 80% of Trader Joe's stock bears the company's brand. Companies trust the brand, which is one of the ways the company gets away with having fewer choices. So how do they wrangle their people? I don't understand that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you seen it? I've seen like their bottles of wine and stuff like that. Trader Joe's.
Well, New York used to go. So, yeah, I don't have any. What are you looking for?
I'm just trying to think of. No. I'm just making a comment. Secrecy. Some think Trader Joe's secretiveness comes from Germany's Albrecht family, which owns the chain, but that's not the case. Trader Joe's is secretive because it doesn't want anyone to know who's making its products. Yeah, right. So that's how they're able to put on their brand. Like they must have like this. What an interesting thing. So they said like, okay, we're gonna buy all this wine from, let's say, who knows, like DiGiorno's wine in Italy, right? And they're like, hey, but we're not gonna put your brand on it.
We're going to put it's private label. So, but maybe this is secret to other people, but it's not secret to me, and it shouldn't be secret to you. So let's say they sell cat food. I have no idea, right? There's only 4 big plants that make cat food. Everyone makes their cat food through there. So you just call up the plant and say, hey, don't put, whatever brand cat food on this. Come up with a formula. We'll make sure, maybe they make sure that it's good with the Trader Joe's organic, and we're putting ours on. Like it. That's not secret. Lots of companies do that. Maybe in 2010 that was secret, and other companies weren't doing that because you can get Safeway brands. You know what I mean? Like you go to Safeway
or whatever. Yeah. Here's one that relates to us. Okay.
But they're not telling you like we make this in Michigan at this plant. Is that what they're getting?
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just kind of this. What they've done is they've made generic branding hip. Don't you feel that they've done that? They've hippified.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything. Yeah. They get the generic whatever and they just stick their Trader Joe's on it. All right. But again, probably have good standards.
How can we do that? Here. So the last 2 points,
I know
2.5 points or whatever, the death of branding and then the secrecy. So both of them, actually, the last 2 points. How can we here's the F9 brand. Like it's an F9 thing.
I know.
What?
Find the best consultants. We already know some of them. Like, I could write. It doesn't matter. Eric, my brain is with Eric because I just talked to him off the phone. You know who he is.
Yeah.
F9 MEP, F9 structural, F9 this. And they are doing all the work. All the good consultants that we know. F9 civil.
Oh, that's
so it's our brand. They're doing the work.
So when you would market that to a client in that way, you would say like, look, this is an F9 MEP.
Yeah. This is F9 civil. I don't know then if that's counterintuitive to reducing, but maybe it's reducing because we only have one civil, one MEP, one, whatever. So you could get the F9 package and you could get them all. And what's weird is that literally we're just taking the guys we'd use anyways and just calling them F9.
Rebranding. Exactly. There you go.
Yeah.
Number 5, take care of employees.
But then we run a lot of risks. I mean, it's different than selling a bag of chips versus.
Oh, because we umbrella everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 5, take care of employees. Store managers can make in the low 6 figures while full-time employees start out at about half that. Not bad for retail. Plus, TJ's contributes 15.4% of employees' salaries to tax-deferred retirement accounts. What? Oh, they contribute. So like they will take. So let's say you make 50 grand, 100 grand. They will be like, okay, we're also going to throw in another 15,400.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty generous.
Yeah.
Number 6, an in-store experience that hails to an earlier, happier time. An employee knows the whole store, and instead of telling you where an item is, it will literally guide you there. They'll offer a basket or cart. I don't know how we do that. I don't know how we can translate that into there. An in-store experience.
I have one idea.
Okay.
It's called the red phone. So I want to eliminate concerns. I have one contractor that every time he calls me, I'm literally in my car. I don't know how it happens. Every time he calls me, I'm in my car somewhere, and I have to wait till I get back to the office. So what if we say, hey, it's I don't know what we branded, but like a hold of us anytime during working hours. You call this phone, someone will be there and be able to answer it. You know what I mean? And there's
hotline.
There's two things. One, they could say, if they're just asking for a dimension, oh, what project is it? Open it up, find a dimension, good to go. Okay, thanks, bye. That's it. Or let me understand what you're talking about, open it up, and then I'll ask Al or Lance or whatever. Or let's say someone's manning the hotline, meaning it's just their day to, kind of sit there. And it's something another person, has been working on it. And we might not even need to be contacted. Oh, it looks like this person, Nate was on it. Let me hand the phone to Nate. So
I like that. You're branding. Here's how we're going to solve your problem.
You're branding a problem that they have.
A solution for their problem. Yeah. That's interesting. Okay. Don't
no one else take that idea.
No. Just erase that from your memory.
Yeah.
Don't follow trends. Start them. This is number 7. Trader Joe's was offering healthy foods before most consumers knew what organic meant. They had the largest offering of California wines before anyone, and I mean anyone, thought they were worth a damn. Same goes for microbrewed beers. If you want to see what grocery stores will be selling tomorrow, go to Trader Joe's today.
Here's another thing. They have, every time I've heard of Trader Joe's, everyone says $2 chuck. Have you
$2 what?
$2 chuck.
This is the wine, right?
Yes. So if you want some wine, you can go to Trader Joe's. I'm sure it's still true, but that was a big deal in New York. You can get a whole bottle of wine for $2, right? So it's something that a lot of people like. Even if you don't like wine, when you're pouring, like, in college, you think, holy cow, a case of beer is, $12, $14. I could get $2 chuck, and I'll drink wine if it's going to change.
Sure.
Save me $10, $12. Is there anything in the architectural profession that we can be known for? Like, oh, you need this? It's $2. And we kind of do this with one of our big people that we lay out plans. Hey, you got a plan? Send it to us. It's I'm making this up. $500. So, okay, if we do that with one person, is there anything else we can offer as basically a product or a service? Hey, you need a conceptual design, you need a layout, you need something. It's gonna cost you $1,000.
Well, I was gonna
chuck. $1,000 chuck.
$1,000 chuck. No, that's interesting. Exactly. This is where I'm going with this. Is where I'm going with this discussion. Is okay. Yeah. Can we just start thinking about? They're super successful. Like, isn't there something we can pull over?
And then you're known for it because let's say I know developers talk to each other. They're like, yeah, I got this land. I don't know if my idea can fit. I'll call F9, $1,000.
$2.
They don't even want to pay that.
$2 concept or something like that.
Yeah.
So you're just doing trying to get your foot in the door, right, with these big developers.
And known, it sticks in their head. You need this done. Just call these guys. They do it every time for this.
They crush it.
Yep.
$2 crush. Number 8, know your consumer and put your stores where they are. TJ's isn't all things to all people. It knows its customer and maintains a laser-like focus on predicting and meeting their ever-changing needs. That includes knowing where to locate stores and paying attention to demographics like education and food and cooking magazine subscriptions. That one kind of throws me for a loop because we do a lot of our marketing is on the internet, and I have been able to convince people doesn't matter where we're located. We've kind of taken the opposite approach to that and said we could work from Mars. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We're here to serve you. So I don't know if that one applies.
Well, I think the other thing that know your customer too. I think it was like a 2-part thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Number 9, keep logistics simple. Fewer items means simplified distribution, stocking, and everything. And TJ's always seeks to cut the middleman by buying directly from manufacturers and shipping directly to its distribution centers. It even sells fresh produce by unit instead of weight to simplify the checkout process. I think we've done that hopefully with the new contract and the way it's laid out. Just keep it simple, stupid.
Don't you think that this is so profound, though, that this shouldn't just be a one podcast, one idea? Is that somehow it should almost be a folder, and it should be in there, and you could copy and paste, and we could write down ideas, and somehow maybe this summer with the new website we come up with a $2 chuck. Like, let's keep it permanent. Maybe it's an admin, maybe, but I almost want to put it in current projects because our guys have great ideas too.
Maybe we talk about this at lunch.
Yeah.
F9 lunch. Yeah. Last one. I love this. If it isn't broke, don't fix it. Founder Joe Columba sold the 43-year-old chain to Theo Albrecht in 1979, but the Albrechts stay completely out of the business, only visiting once a year to check out the family investment. Trader Joe's has always run itself. Moreover, TJ's is entirely self-funded with no debt. I can't stress that enough. Good Lord, cash is king.
I don't know what the timeline would be, but it could almost be a goal. 5 years, 10 years. Lance and I will pay off everything. We have structure in place. We have a clear vision with clear guides, with clear rules.
Like this. Exactly. This is kind of the framework that you set up for, hey, when you guys go expand and you do the satellite office, here's the 10 rules. Walk in the door. Everybody knows the 10, not the 10 rules, but the 10
principles.
Yep.
But kind of figure it out. And if you find good people, I don't think they want you looking over their back and being able to walk away.
Right.
Like, here you go.
I don't like looking over the back at all.
Yeah, me neither.
Makes them nervous. Sweet. All right, there you go. Trader Joe's. We'll link to that article. Read it. Maybe there's something you could take out of it and apply it to your business and come up with a cool idea, because those guys are super successful. And they do it so simply. That's what I love about it. Again, I got to go back all the way back to the beginning of this. The beautiful thing about it was it was just so simple. It was cost effective too.
Yep.
They figured it out. Amazon's got their work cut out for them.
Yep.
With the Whole Foods.
And honestly, we still haven't followed some basic advice because we have an outstanding loan on some equipment. We have an outstanding loan on some land. But once we get all those paid off, then I think let's implement the rule. Everything's with cash now.
Everything's with cash.
I agree.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. Don't lose sight of it. Okay. I think it's bestie time.
Bestie time. Let's hear them.
Hello, best friends. I hope you all had a great week this week. A reading. Slow business growth. Take the long view. We live in the age of the instant billionaire. While a handful of young Silicon Valley entrepreneurs have burst onto the scene with spectacular multi-billion-dollar buyouts and public offerings that shock us, they are the exception. Building a successful service firm is a slow and steady journey. It requires taking the long-term view, hour by hour. When you boil it down, service firms sell hours. You might bundle them up or break them out for your clients on their invoice. But in the end, you measure your return on the number of hours you can profitably bill. The key to expanding is to grow the numbers of billable hours. R. Gensler and his 50 principles. Lance! Oh, lucky day! The kumquats are blossoming. Toodles!
Kumquats. So, what I took from that was, while we're looking towards the future, exactly what you just brought up with Trader Joe's, and you're trying to make a strategy and do all that stuff. I think that it's worth reminding everyone that also your day-to-day operation is billable hours, how you can improve them. You can bundle them into package or stuff like that, and how you improve them is by doing great quality. And then if you do great quality for a client, then it compounds, right? Because then they probably rehire you and then tell you, tell your services to their other friends. So I think there's two different ways of marketing and growing a business, and it's keeping your eye on the ball, just grinding billable hours, and then talking about exactly what we're talking about with Trader Joe's.
Don't lose track of the hour.
Yeah.
How precious is that?
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But I think that's one of our fundamental principles if we do our own Trader Joe's rules is we track time.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Yeah. We've brought this up before on a previous episode. There was a previous employee who owned his own little business, And we said, well, how did you keep track of your time? And you're like, I didn't.
Yeah.
What? We've had a timer on each of us since day one.
Yep.
To try to figure it out.
And maybe it relates to how they don't sell by weight; they sell by produce. Like we put that in your head. You're selling by hour, right? And then the efficiency of you have 40 hours.
Because they're selling by unit. Exactly.
Yep. And then the employee should be at a 90% bill rate, something like that. So, somehow instill that, talk about that, and have that be in everyone's mind of how clear it is. Like this is how a service firm is run.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Sweet. What do we got next, Al?
We have the firm doing A.R.E. Jeopardy. So here we go. Okay, so here we go. I'll do the first 2 questions. Lance will do the second 2 questions. You guys know how this is run. This is for the A.R.E. exam. They're questions Lance and I made up.
Not for our non-architectural listeners. A.R.E. means Architectural Registration Exam, the test you have to take to get licensed.
Yep. But you guys should play along too. So both of mine relate to structures. Okay. So the first question is force equals, and then there'll be A, B, C, D. So force equals, it's just an equation. So think back to physics and all that. So force equals A, load times distance. B, pressure times volume. C, shear times moment. D, mass times acceleration. Do you want me to repeat any of those? Still thinking
hard. Force equals.
Force equals. Are we ready? Ready? Okay, we have D. D, correct.
All
Force
correct?
equals mass times acceleration.
Wow.
Giving everyone a point.
Looks like F9's buying for F9.
Yeah. Who's going to be the king of the castle? All right. Question number 2. Which one of the following is not used as steel reinforcement in concrete? Okay. So there's going to be 4 choices. 3 of them will be used in concrete as steel reinforcement. 1 will not. Okay. A, bars. B, welded wire fabric. C, wires or strands. D, tubes. Yes. A, bars. B, welded wire fabric. C, wire or strands. D, tubes.
Which one of the following is not used as steel
Okay, ready?
reinforcing?
Okay, B, D, and D. The answer is D. The answer is D. So, bars are your regular rebars, right? B, welded wire fabric. We put that in the garages a lot, right? C, wires or strands. Those are post-tensioned. That's basically what you call post-tension. Tubes are not.
Tubes are tubes, bro.
Tubes are tubes.
Tubes are tubes.
Cool.
All right, Lance's question's coming up. Question number 3. The structural engineer has given you the option of specifying the following different types of steel beams on a project. Which one is most cost effective? A, standard wide flanges. B, hollow structural steel tubes. C, castellated steel beams. Or D, tapered wide flanges. Once again, the structural engineer has given you the option of specifying the following different types of steel beams on a project. Which is the most cost effective? A, standard wide flanges. B, hollow structural steel tubes. C, castellated steel beams. D, tapered wide flanges.
No questions? All good?
Nothing for clarification?
Are you ready? Okay.
What do we got?
B. They all say B.
They're all incorrect. Wide flanges are the cheapest.
Yeah.
That's why they're most common.
Yeah.
They use the least amount of material to do what they got to do.
What about for a column? Same thing?
For a column, our engineer has always told us steel
Circular.
tube. Yep.
Because I'll explain a little bit why a wide flange. Because
You
when
knew
you
the answer, yes?
Yes. Because when you're
Thank
pushing down, right, you're looking for the depth of the material, right, and the area in that depth. So you have basically, well, what I was saying is that with the tubes, it's also based on the center. Man, I had a good explanation for this. Because in the tubes, you still have the top and the bottom, but you're basically doubling up.
You're doubling up the web.
You're doubling
in
up
a tube situation. Okay?
And the cost of steel is per pound, so you're just wasting basically.
Yep,
Because you have to have a certain
That-
thickness
that-
anyways.
That I-beam / wide flange shape is just the most cost effective every single time. Okay. Although in my just side note, I prefer hollow structural steel tubes, as you can see from Jazz House up there, even though it's more expensive. And that's why on this other house unit I've been working on, I want to try to do the hollow tube. So I was hoping to give Alex Gresh a little advantage, but he failed.
Yeah. Hey, I was trying to get market advantage because we've been talking about post tension, but we didn't say wires or strands.
And for this next one, we're going to give you all an advantage, okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay, question number 4. Final question. You are designing a home with a slab-on grade with in-floor radiant heating. What is the minimum thickness usage suggest for the slab? A, 4 inches. B, 5 inches. C, 6 inches. D, 8 inches. You are designing a home with a slab-on grade with in-floor radiant heating. What is the minimum thickness you should suggest for the slab? A, 4 inches. B, 5 inches. C, 6 inches. D, 8 inches.
Can I clarify that this is not a topping layer?
And yes, you can clarify that, and then I'll give you a hint. We also have to provide reinforcing in it. Okay, and there's clearances you have to meet when you put reinforcing in concrete in regards to how close it is to the edge of it. Okay.
Okay. You guys good with your answer? C.
Correct.
Yay! So actually pretty close, but we do have a tie on top with Jason and Gresh. How did we figure? Did we do rock, paper, scissors, or did we made up another question? I don't have another question. We can pause it and come up with another one.
Okay, let me think about it real quick. We'll be right back. All right,
And we're back.
We're back. All right, this is the tiebreaker. One of the tiebreaker questions. Question 5. What is the minimum depth to bury an electrical line below grade? A, 12 inches. B, 18 inches. C, 24 inches. D, 36 inches. What is the minimum depth to bury an electrical line below grade? A, 12 inches. B, 18 inches. C, 24 inches. D, 36. And our answers. Al?
What? We got A and D.
Both incorrect. 18 inches. Also incorrect. So who said, you said C, right, Mark?
Yeah, I'm technically out.
That's fair enough, though. And you said D, and you did? A? Okay.
So Mark and Jason were the closest. Okay.
Al has the real tiebreaker question.
Yep. And then I have another tiebreaker.
And maybe on the tiebreakers in the future, we just give 2 answers. Is that still not, you know what I mean? Just like a true or false. But then
I can give one that they probably don't know, but whoever's the closest. Do you want to say whoever's the closest wins?
For this one?
This
Sure,
one.
sure.
This one came in Longmont. If you have a transformer, what is the clearance where you can't have anything obstructing in front of it? So you have a transformer, right? You need clearance for them to access it. Whoever gets closest to the answer wins.
So this is no.
Yep. Transformer box, you got to access it. Can't have anything in front.
Repeat it to me one more time.
Transformer.
Yeah, transformer. What about it?
Okay. You need clearance in front that you don't have obstructions in there.
So
you
people
don't
can
have
get in there.
So people
Do
can
some
get in there.
stuff. Yep.
Yep. How big?
What's the minimum?
Yep. What's the minimum?
Interesting.
And then if we can go to backs and sides too if you both guess the same number in there. Okay. Here we go. Hold it up. 3 feet, 4 feet, 10 feet. Jason wins. What 6 feet.
Woo!
Yep. The sides and rear are 3 feet. Front is 10 feet.
There we go. Learn
All
some
right.
stuff. All right, gentlemen. Our guys are the best. We are live
Right now?
again. Yeah. So, do you have anything? Do you have any sponsors, Al?
I don't have any sponsors, but I have something that I want people to take into consideration. Okay.
All right.
So if you are in AutoCAD, I think it's 2018. Correct me if I'm wrong. February.
That is correct. Your birthday's in 3 days.
I think you should start the transition and transition into Revit. You can still do.
How do you do
AutoCAD.
that? How do you do that?
Well, you can go to Inside the Firm, and
Can
we have links for you.
Oh, nice.
And I want to tell you the cost. So right now, Lance, did you know if you wanted to buy AutoCAD on a monthly basis, it's $185 per month?
Wow.
Did you know that if you pay the yearly for Revit, it comes out to $183 per month? I saved you $2 each month.
Wow.
By getting a better, more
imagine
sophisticated
what you
program.
could buy if you went to Trader Joe's with that $2.
Oh, a $2 chuck. You see how everything's coming together?
Every time.
The other thing, but if you do it month by month and you don't pay the whole, it does jump up to $275. But there's so many buts. You don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
There's Revit Lite for $65. Transition into Revit. It doesn't cost as much as you can think. Those are the first one. Well, the second one is probably the high rate for a principal. Third one is just just 1 hour a month. So please do that. If you need help learning Revit, you can go to our website, revitfurniture.com. But the first step is to go to Inside the Firm, click on the links, and get Revit. That's all I have. What do you have, Lance?
That's all you got. I have a huge shout out to everybody that's listening so far this season. We really appreciate our listens are going up every month, so we hope that we can help you out, and that we do. So if we have 16 5-star ratings right now on iTunes, and if this podcast is helping you out, if you've just found it, please, or if you've been a long time listener, please head over to iTunes. If you plan on leaving us a 1-star review, just put 5 stars right on top of that.
How about this? The 20th person and the 25th person will send them a free book.
There you go. A free book of The Creativity Code by Alex.
Yep.
With help from Lance.
Yes.
And then follow us on the Facebook. We have a private Facebook group that we would love to help to grow, so we can have some private discussions with you guys about more inside the firm stuff off the record.
And know what? Those that don't land on those marks, from now on, if you email me and if we see it, I'll give you a digital copy. The ones in between.
Absolutely. Leave us a review. We'll give you a free ebook.
Yep.
There you go. Just made that up on the spot.
There we go.
Follow us on the Facebook. Follow us on the Twitter. Send us emails. Send us your questions. We want to hear from you. We love you guys. Have a great week.